Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? It is Thursday, February 11th, 2016. People, a series of events are occurring right now and have been occurring over the past several weeks for which, if you follow this blog, trust me on this one, you have been more on top of everything that is occurring than most people in the world. I have been outlining for you the action that we've been seeing with regard to the U.S. equity market, but more importantly, what's happening in the debt market. I always tell you to watch the debt market. I did an interview with Greg Hunter recently where I had said the bond market was flashing red signals or red flags across the sky. And we can expect action like we're seeing today. As I am doing this video blog, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down over 340 points. Earlier in the day, it was down nearly 400 points. We have seen this market take a wallop as of late, and it's been in a steady decline since last May. And I am very proud to say I am, without a doubt, the only analyst in the world that called the top of this market almost to the day. If you're interested in seeing that call where I had said the market was at its top, check my site traderschoice.net. Right on the front page is a link to a video. I had said this was it, and I was 100% correct, almost to the day. All right. I think that gives me a lot of credibility, honestly. And what we're witnessing now, you have to understand, is not just your run-of-the-mill corrective phase or correction in this market. If you turn on the financial channels, the mainstream, you're going to hear a lot of that talk. Oh, this is just a normal corrective phase nonsense. What you need to understand, what people need to understand, and the mainstream financial channels will never, ever say this. World central banks, none more so than the United States Federal Reserve, have created an environment of risk, and they've done this on purpose. I'm going to prove this to you with the chart in just a few minutes here for any of you who have even the slightest bit of doubt. World central banks are supposed to or exist mainly to keep the system functioning in a normal way. That's basically what they're supposed to do, but they do not do this. Especially since the 2008 crash event, which they created. And again, I'm going to show you this chart here so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. World central banks deliberately, again, I'll prove it to you with this chart, inflate bubbles. They inflate bubbles and they deflate bubbles on purpose. They do this for a reason, so they can foster a wealth exchange, a simple legal theft on a grand scale. So that's what they're doing here, just like they did the last bubble and the one before that. What they have attempted to do, again, is create this environment of systemic risk, okay? Getting as many people as they can involved in the stock market, inflating a bubble in stocks by inflating a bubble in debt, which again, people, I cannot stress this enough. The bubble in debt that we have here is not just a financial issue. This is an issue that is so monumental. It's frightening because again, this is a resource problem. I want you to really understand what I'm talking about when I say this here. We exist in an environment where it's a system built upon the acquisition of debt in perpetuity. It can never stop. It's not a wealth-based system, okay? What that means is we have to continually borrow or steal cash from the future through this mechanism to create more and more debt, and in greater and greater amounts. Without doing this, resources, basic necessities to live, will not be available. You understand? This has fostered a population boom. I've been over this so many times. So understand, when the debt bubble bursts, and we're seeing cracks in that now. How are we seeing cracks in it? Because we're seeing this flood of cash into debt. I want you to think about that for a moment. Think about that for a moment. The bond market, something I always talk about here. The safety play right now is a mass flow of cash into the debt market. Debt. So investors, countries are seeking safety in debt, in an asset that is in a bubble, in an asset that can never be paid back. You understand? We're also seeing this, a mass flight into gold and silver. Today, or earlier in the day, gold was up over $60 an ounce. This is going to play out much greater as we move forward, as the systemic issues continues to come apart here. But the main issue here, people, and please understand this, is a resource problem on a grand scale. This is why we are going to see a population correction. Again, resources will not be available at one particular time. Basic things just to sustain your life, because the debt bubble is going to burst. And that is going to create a global situation unlike anything we have ever witnessed in the history of the world. In the history of the world. Again, turn on the financial channels. They're going to tell you this is all a financial issue. It's not a financial problem. This is a human issue. Understand? I wrote an article a long time ago called Global Debt and the Human Bubble. Global Debt and the Human Bubble. Just Google that title, Global Debt and the Human Bubble, and you'll see. You can read that article. I hope you pay attention to it. Don't just gloss over this stuff, people. I can't stress to you the situation that we're in here. Understand this again. World central banks are doing this on purpose. They always do. And here's the proof for you in this chart that I'm going to show you. This chart is a weekly chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, going back since like forever here. Look at, do you think that this pattern is an accident? Do you think this is an accident? If you think that that is an accident, well, then you need to reevaluate yourself, okay? This is a deliberate act by world central banks to inflate bubbles, burst them. Inflate, burst. Inflate, burst. Okay, we're in the burst stage now of here. This is where we are today. It's a little difficult for me here. Dot-com bubble. Okay, they made a ton of cash here, and then they burst this bubble. They went short, made a ton of cash here. They inflated the last bubble, the 2008 crash event, credit bubble. Bam! Down comes that. They inflated another bubble. This will continue as long as we are under the rule of world central banks colluding with their policymakers. Look, this is not possible, people. This is not possible without our policymakers involved. You understand here? So, for those of you out here who believe that a bigger government would be better for America, and you want to vote for Hillary Clinton, or you want to vote for Bernie Sanders, well, you're going to get more of this. Much, much more of this. We need a free market. This is the result of a not free market, of a market that is being deliberately manipulated to create bubbles and deflate them over and over again on purpose to foster a legal theft on a scale and magnitude that is frightening. You understand? If you don't understand, then your problems are a lot bigger than I can possibly imagine. This is the situation that we are in right now, people. In my last video, I had said when this bubble bursts and all these people that have their faith in a 401k plan or some other type of investment are going to be screaming so loud when their perceived wealth is erased. You're going to hear them from Pluto. That is what's going to happen here, people. The system is toxic. The system has been made toxic on purpose. Systemic risk is global right now, and it's coming apart. Look at world markets. This is not just, related to one part of the world. This is now global. You understand? And world central banks are so desperate to try to keep it propped up that they're going negative with regard to interest rates. The Federal Reserve right now, Janet Yellen is testifying, and she said negative rates are on the table. You understand? The debt is worthless, and this should prove that to you. If they have to go negative rates, they're broadcasting to the world that the debt is worthless. Meanwhile, you have investors flocking into debt right now. That's why you're seeing bond yields come down. The U.S. 10-year earlier today was 1.58. These are the red flags across the sky that I've been talking about, people. This is why we're witnessing what we're seeing now. And this is not done by a long shot. By a long shot. You understand? I can't stress to you how important this is. And the fact that you're watching this video, really, bravo to you. More than likely, you've been with me for a while and you have a very good understanding on what is occurring. I have been out here for years now, years, trying to outline for people what was coming and what we're seeing now. This is it, in my opinion here, people. The banking system has become toxic, made so by runaway world central banks that have created this environment of risk on a grand scale. And again, going back to this chart, make no mistake about it, this is being done on purpose. With that, again, do you believe this is an accident? World central banks, none more so than the Federal Reserve, are serial bubble blowers. And they do this on purpose to steal wealth from the middle class, which is being decimated at this time here. Look, under this president here, we've watched the middle class literally evaporate. Do you think that is also part of it's an accident as well? Look, I would have to say this. I personally don't think it matters who is in the White House at this time. This is the United States of corporate America. I don't care if Trump wins. I don't care if Clinton wins. It doesn't matter. This whole thing here is a rigged game. A rigged game, rigged against you directly. And you need to be getting out of their system. And I have said thousands of times, thousands upon thousands of times over the years here, that you need to be betting against this debt, people, and you need to become your own central bank. And you know exactly what I'm talking about at this time, unless you're brand new here. And if you are new here, start asking questions. A lot of people that comment here have been with me for years, and they could not have a more crystal clear vision and understanding of what is happening right now and what is going to happen as we move forward. So start asking questions, get involved here, start talking to each other, start getting this out here. I'm counting on every single one of you, none more so than ever, to get the word out. If you think again that I'm talking about realistic things, things that make sense to you, hit this like button. It takes a split second to just click that thumbs up. And then share this on all of your social networks. Get it out there, people, because mark my words, the world has never faced a situation like we have right now. This unfolding of events is global. It is a systemic, toxic system that is coming apart right now. And you need to be getting out of their system. You need to be getting away from dollars or a paper currency, period. The dollar is under pressure right now, despite the market being down nearly 400 points. That should tell you something. This flight to safety into debt. Are you kidding me? It can never be paid back. How is this a safe haven? Are you kidding? It's laughable. But this is what people do. It's the knee jerk. You understand? This is all going to change. This is all going to change here, people. We're going to get a meltdown of truly epic proportions. And the Federal Reserve is powerless now to stop it. They can't do anything. They're going to go negative interest rates now. That is going to send shock waves around the world. It won't work. Again, I have said, and I urge you to do research about this. Look at every single economic and financial bubble in history. They have one thing in common, people, and that is that they burst. They burst because they rise above a level that can be sustained by any means, any underscored means. So these world central banks can keep stimulating and printing. They can't stop what is coming. It's done. We have a bubble in debt, which is the greatest threat to humankind, bar none. Again, look up human global debt and the human bubble. Okay, Google it. You will read that article and it will give you a new understanding as to what is occurring here, people. It is epic, truly epic. And humanity is at a crossroads right now. That is how bad this is. You're not going to hear this on the financial channels or any of the mainstream because they can't tell you the truth. The truth is we have a collusion between world central banks and policymakers that do this. They create bubbles after bubbles and burst them, and they fleeced the public. How many trillions was lost here in the 2008 crash event? And then, okay, let's get back in. Then this is again done on purpose. It's all going to be wiped out here. Wiped out, people. Do something about it. Don't let yourself fall victim to this. You need to start, if you haven't already, you need to start understanding where we are at and why we are here. I don't know what else to say, but I am going to urge you all to please, if you think this video has been important, if you think I've covered things that people need to hear, hit this thumbs up. Share this on every single social network that you have. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+. Get it out. It's up to us right now. You know what I mean? The other thing I've been saying for years, and I know this video is getting kind of long, is we are witnessing a natural selection here. And again, this is not just a financial problem, people. Understand that. This is a resource issue. Many people will not survive this. And I would like to believe that if you are following this blog, you have a better understanding than most people. This is a natural selection process that is occurring. It's a part of nature here. With that said, let's get it out there. I think it's our responsibility as people who have a better understanding than the zombified public out there to try to get people to understand where we're at and why we are here. Okay? So again, please share this video. If you think it's important, give me a thumbs up if you think it deserves it. With that said, I will see you all soon. Over now.